I just looked the word up, and apparently gnome is pronounced gnome. So each time I said gnome, just imagine I said gnome instead. Anyway, let's go east. Lorehold kitchen. I will update my map. This room is filled with a haze, whether smoke from the giant hearths or steam from the many kettles and pots seething at them. You cannot determine. It is also fragrant with the smells of food being cooked, boiling porridges, roasting meats, grilling vegetables, frying wheat fruit, and simmering sauces. Your mouth waters as you stand and sniff. You can go in all directions from here if you find the way through the crowd, that is. Crowd? Which crowd? The kitchen is also full of people, bustling hither and thither, carrying stacks of used dishes, early empty pots, steaming cauldrons, and the like. A potboy is taking the dirty trays from the pass-through in the dining room to the south and vanishing into what must be a scullery in the east wall. I don't even know what a scullery is. Wait, I know what a scullery is, because I looked it up recently. That's a room where scullery maids work, who are the lowest of servants, and who just do all of the lowest work, like, yeah, washing and anything that has to be not done. Sub-cooks hover over the respective hearths and stoves, frantically stirring or tasting their dishes. Various servants seem to be attempting to put together trays of food for their absent masters, who are obviously too busy to come to the dining room, while vexed serving maids are waiting for replenishment of their bread baskets and water jars. The most noticeable person in the room, however, is of much smaller stature. At the center of the hustle, the hobbit, Hubert, stands on a broad table, shouting directions at the kitchen staff. His tenor voice cuts cleanly through the noise, with little wasted effort. As you watch, you see that the lines of movement in the kitchen swirl around him and vary as he dictates. Despite the atmosphere of seeming chaos, the small man is in complete control. Cauldron? Smells quite tasty, having the aroma of delicate shrooms. Would you like to grab a spoon and taste a bit? Once Hubert isn't looking? Sure. Quickly you grab a spoon from nearby and taste the sauce from the cauldron. Delicious. However, you quickly hide the spoon as Hubert returns. That was funny. This little man seems to notice everything around him, except for us tasting the soup. As soon as you look at him, his eyes meet yours and he gives you a quick nod before tapping one of his attendants on the head with a large ladle and directing her to one of the furnaces. He is wearing a large apron, which probably has been white at a certain point in its existence. The name Hubert is still vaguely visible below the stains. The little halfling flashes you a quick smile before turning to answer a question from the other side of the table. When he turns back to you, he seems a bit surprised you are still there. You greet the halfling. Yes, what can I do for you? He blurts without even paying actual attention to you. I am quite busy, so make it snappy, will you? How are you called? Hubert, for everyone who wants to know. Not that it matters much now that you know. Not that it matters much that you do know. Anyway. What is your job, you inquire? Well, I'm the chef cook here, what else? Mind those twos, Julia! And as I told you before, I'm really busy, so if that would be all... Why are you so busy? I'm so obnoxious. Yes, I am supposed to prepare a decent meal here, but my staff is driving me insane. Old Dame Societe would simply burst into tears would she see what they have done to her Danish roast recipes. Let's try to improve it, they said. Improve it! The little hobbit does not seem to be far from crying himself. Promise not to tell her, all right? What happened to that Danish? Danish? You can't call it even Danish anymore. By the 12th, the hobbit folds his hands as if to pray to the kitchen gods. And this on the day the Dame associates attendance at the Lorehold. Dame Societe is here in the Lorehold? Each time I see Societe, I just read sausage. I'm that German, I just see sausages everywhere. Yes, she's right here in the pantry, still unaware of the Danish catastrophe. A catastrophe. Tell me everything about the catastrophe. Don't mention it. The halfling backs its finger at you. Never, ever again. Tell me more about Dame Suzette. You have never heard of the greatest authorities on the area of cookery in Santharia? Shame on you! She runs a dame school in New Santharia and has written the standard book on the kitchen arts, Dame Suzette's Cookery Book, being a collation of recipes from various parts of Savonia. No? Never heard of that one? The halfling looks at you disgustedly. Bye. Hey, it's time for you to go now. I have far too much to do to stand here and talking all day. Why not try some of that stew served on the fourth furnace? It's not that bad. Yeah, well, I will taste it. Okay, let's go north. Lorehold Scullery. I will write this down real quick. This room seems to be a scullery. It is small and cramped, made smaller by the stacks of food-stained platters, blackened pots and crusted pans